Rabbi Akiva by Jessica and Eve. The start of Rabbi Akiva. 40 years old, couldn't read, couldn't spell his name, studied 24 years, became the greatest sage, learned the alphabet first. Rachel loved Akiva. Before she was going to marry him, she made him promise to study Torah. The Romans were gonna attack the Holy Temple, so they destroyed it. And then Bar Kokhba, the military leader, wanted to have a revolt against them. And then Rabbi Akiva thought he was the Mashiach because of that. And a lot of other people really didn't agree with him. So a lot of people... Moshe got sent, and Moshe saw God drawing crowns. He said, "Master, what are you doing?" There was a man who will rise many generations. That man is Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva visits his students because the sages were supposed to visit him, but none of them visited, so he decided to visit, and he said that people who don't visit the sick are like murderers. The death of Rabbi Akiva's students. Rabbi Akiva had 12,000 pairs of students. His students all passed away in a plague because they did not show respect to each other. They passed away 33 days in between Pesach and Shavuot, also known as bomer. Rabbi Akiva had a couple of death quotes. Right before he died, he said these words. The first one was that you should always love Hashem with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And he also said, when I pass away, you really should celebrate and you shouldn't be upset because it's the happiest day. And I'm so glad that happy are you that your soul has been departed with the word Echad. That's the happiest thing that meant to him. The last thing he said before he passed was a Shema, and that was very thoughtful of him.
Lag BaOmer, Rabbi Akiva, by Joey Barocas and Ari Silverstein. Rabbi Akiva becomes a Torah scholar. Rabbi Akiva thought he was not smart. He said his mind was harder than a rock. He was 40 years old, and he could not read. When he started learning, he started with the alphabet, and he was a font. Lag BaOmer, Rabbi Akiva, by Joey Barocas and Ari Silverstein. Rabbi Akiva becomes a Torah scholar. Rabbi Akiva thought his mind was harder than a rock. He was 40 years old and he could not read. When he started learning, he started with the alphabet, since he could not read or write his name. Rahel was this man who he worked. Akiva worked for this man, and Rahel was the man's daughter. Rahel made Akiva learn Torah because Rahel and Akiva wanted to get married, and Rahel said, "You have to learn to get married to me."
Facts about Akiva. Akiva is mentioned 270 times in the Mishnah. He began in yeshiva. He died at age 120, and that is a lot to live. His students of Eliezer and Bar Kunis.
Rabbi Akiva and Bar Kokhba. 60 years after the temple destroyed, the Jews were really sad. They went on with their lives. They felt like they had a real big loss. But they accepted the Romans. The Romans announced to build a temple in Israel. The nation prepared itself for war because they didn't want that to happen. The rebellion was led by Bar Kokhba. Akiva was the spirit leader, but Bar Kokhba revolted, and Akiva proclaimed Bar Kokhba to be the Mishnah.
The greatness of Rabbi Akiva's scholarship. Moshe saw Hashem drawing crowns upon letters. Master, why are you not giving me the Torah? A man, how will he arise many generations? His name was Rabbi Akiva. He will learn mound upon mound of the Torah. Moshe found himself in the Akiva classroom. He sat in the back. Moshe didn't understand the Akiva.
Akiva's best students. Rabbi Shimon opinion followed often. Death of Akiva's students. His students died from a plague. They didn't respect each other, so they died of that reason. 12,000 pairs of students died. That's a lot. They all died in 33 days. 1 month and 3 days. They stopped dying on Lag BaOmer. That's a miracle.
Death of Akiva, Rabbi Akiva. The Romans captured Akiva and killed him like dead killed. Akiva told the students to always love God, Hashem, the holy person who made Torah. When he died, everybody said Shema, like everybody. His last word was Achad. That means one. The Romans don't want him to teach Torah anymore because they don't like it. The Romans don't want people to learn Torah because they just don't like it.
Akiva's students. Yehuda said that Romans weren't that bad. Yoshi didn't want to criticize the Romans. Oh, he said that too. Shimon said the Romans did what they did for their own benefit. Shimon said what the Romans did was bad for the Jews, much different from everyone else. Yehuda got a reward for talking to the Jews.
Akiva's saying. Akiva always said, love neighbors as self. Man created image of Hashem. Next slide. Akiva visits 6 students. Akiva students felt very sick. Sages didn't visit students. That's not very nice. Akiva cleaned their houses. How nice. And then they felt better.
Rabbi Akiva and the destruction of the temple. Rabbi Akiva's friends began to cry when the temple got destroyed. But Akiva laughed. They said, "Why are you laughing?" He said, "Why are you crying?" Romans. Shimon heard the Romans' decree. He hid in a cave with his son. A tree and a well appeared in the cave. 12 years later, they came out. They saw an old man. He had myrtle branches. The myrtle stand for Shabbat, he said.
Rabbi Akiva becomes a Torah scholar by Karina Gerbin and Danielle Hatch. Rachel, his wife, told Rabbi Akiva that he had to study Torah